Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. As you can see, for today's video we are doing something very different. We're doing some polygel press-on nails. I already chose and sized out the full cover nail tips and I placed them on my press-on magnets. Before we begin the polygel application, I do want to buff out the surface of the nail, as I don't want the polygel to end up separating from the nail tip once we do apply it and start filing. So that the polygel sticks to the nail tip, I'm going to apply base coat on all of my nails, and I will be carrying this in the lamp for 30 seconds. For today's polygel, I'm using this color from Pink Mask, and I'm also using alcohol as my slip solution. I haven't done polygel press-ons on my channel in a very long time, so here we are, we're doing it. I'm only applying a bead, one that isn't too big, but honestly you can add as much as you need just so that everything looks even. Alright, so for those of you that are new to my channel, I do an astrology series that is centered around nails and the horoscope of each sign, so if you're interested, stay tuned. If not, feel free to skip over this section. We are doing Sagittarius today, and I did run a poll in the community tab on what we should do for the length, and I also got some nail ideas. I really wanted to do a full bling French, but I attempted to do it like 3 times and it sucked really bad. They looked so horrible. I don't know if I should have just done a bling ombre, but yeah, that didn't work out. So I'm sorry. I did have to end up doing a winter nail set, even though a lot of you guys wanted some bling. I did make sure to have this a bit more sparkly and a little bit of bling just to make it look, you know, a bit more of what you wanted. All right, so for Sagittarius season was pretty fun. It was pretty lighthearted. The sun, moon, and Venus were in Sagittarius. I believe Mars was there as well. So we were all feeling very optimistic, passionate, and adventurous around that time. It was definitely a good time to throw some holiday parties and also be outside, have fun and socialize with new people, and also learn something new. However, we did have a new moon in Sagittarius about 2 to 3 days ago. We had Sun, Venus, and Mars, as well as the new moon in Sagittarius squaring Neptune in Pisces. And new moons are definitely for new beginnings. This one was just a little bit different because of that energy. Squares aren't necessarily a bad thing in astrology, but they can cause tension, struggles, and pressure. So on a collective scale, our faith was being tested here. We were being asked if we can live out our biggest dreams and if we're actively taking action on our goals. So with this square happening, Saturn wants to know if you're putting your money where your mouth is. All of this Jupiterian energy squaring Saturn, the universe wants to know how bad do you want it, and are you willing to do what it takes, even if the task is mundane. Collectively, I definitely don't think you should overpromise what you cannot deliver around this time, and be very practical but optimistic. For Sagittarius placements, personally, the same message definitely applies. There could also be tension or struggles with your family, possibly causing inconveniences with your work or career. Maybe you should be laying more boundaries for yourself and family, or do you need to loosen them? Of course, this all depends where you have this aspect occurring in your natal chart, but maybe you could be a bit kinder to your mom or family. Saturn transits always highlight an important lesson. Saturn also has been squaring many of you guys for the last year and some change, and Saturn transits especially are the rough ones, and they can feel very challenging. This transit will last up until March of 2026, so you're being forced to confront your limitations, your responsibilities, and have a more realistic sense of self. Since Sagittarius is a Jupiter sign, like I mentioned before, Jupiter energy is about luck, it's about faith and blessings. And you guys like to have fun in nature. You guys are the embodiment of living larger than life, which is a good thing, of course. It's a good trait to have and to carry with you, but with Saturn squaring you, you might be having a little too much fun to the point where you're either running away from responsibilities or not being mature enough to take care of them. It's best not to fight against Saturn transits. Definitely lean into the energy and see what exactly is needed from you and what exactly you need to focus on. It's like attempting to swim against an ocean current. It just doesn't work. You need to let the waves give you a ride. There's definitely a lesson in many of the events that may have occurred in your life in the last year and a half. This isn't really a period for easy wins either. You do have to work hard and put effort into the things you say you'll do, Sagittarius. Things usually gravitate and come very easily for you guys, but the past 2 years and a half could have been a little different. Now, this may not be for all Sagittariuses. Like I mentioned before, some of you may be having an amazing time during this transit, and it's definitely because you are following the lessons of Saturn and putting in the work. Some of you may be feeling this pressure. For those of you that are feeling the pressure and obstacles, just keep in mind that challenges are meant to be overcome so you can get ahead in life. Keep the faith like you always do and keep going. You will be rewarded in the end for it. For some personal insight, I have a Pisces placement in my chart myself, and this new moon kind of squared all of that, and it inconvenienced me to the fullest with my Christmas content. I got sick so bad, and I was held back from doing anything for nearly a week, and I'm now catching up with everything, but I'm not letting that stop me or cause me to feel sad or anything. It is what it is, and I'm going to do my best, and we're going to keep going. So that is all I had for Sagittarius for the end of the year. I do hope you guys enjoyed your season and also your birthdays. Sagittarius season is usually a really good time for going out and having fun. I think everybody definitely enjoyed the collective energy for your season. So that is all I had for you guys. I will stop talking here and we will move on to the next portion of this nail set if I'm not still doing application here. Alright, so our polygel application is done. I'm going to go ahead and wipe away the sticky layer from the polygel and we will begin our filing. We are now finished with our filing, and there's this extra step I like to do with my polygel press-ons and sometimes with my application. Again, this is completely optional, but I do like to add a small drop of cuticle oil and then buff the nail surface. This just makes the surface really smooth and scratch-free, and it makes it easier to do our nail art. We are now ready to begin our gel art. I'm going to have the nail inspiration somewhere on the screen, and we're going to be doing this in purple though, in a light purple. So I like to start with all of my bases when I do gel art, so we're going to do the French and the solid colors first. So this is the purple color that I'm using from Madame Glam. I initially was just going to use this color alone, but then I found that it was a little too deep for my liking, so I did add a little bit of white just to make it a little bit more light. Now I'm going to add matte top coat on all of the nails, and we're going to cure this in the lamp for 90 seconds. It is now time for the sweater nail art, so that's the first thing that I'm going to do here. For this next part, we are just adding 2 3D snowflakes on this nail. This next nail is our sugar nail, and so we are just going to paint a white French on this nail, and once we are finished, while it is uncured, we're going to pour over the glitter. So here are how these nails turned out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This was so much fun to do because I haven't done polygel press-ons on my channel in a very long time, and this felt really good to do. Sagittarius, let me know what you guys think in the comments about this nail set. I know it's not the bling that you were looking for, but I still feel like this came out pretty cute. It's still purple in the theme of your color. I do have everything that I used linked in the description box. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and thank you all so much for watching. I do hope to see you in my next video.